You know, a lot of people ask me, like, what in particular attracted you to an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5? Like, why did you buy one over the other? Why did you buy both? You know, I think that a lot of times it comes down to the different feature sets. If you were to ask me what I like about the PlayStation 5, I like the solid state drive. I like the fact that it does some amazing things there. I like the fact that the DualSense is such an amazing piece of technology, and the 3D audio sounds great. I love those things about the PlayStation 5. They've really nailed it from those different kind of aspects, where they could have just went with a DualSense type situation and basically copied the last gen. Why not, right? They were super successful, but they instead went and redid everything. The same thing when it comes to Xbox. People go, well, why do you like Xbox? You know, they got no games. No games. Arr, no games. And I'm like, man, I got like 1,200 games installed on my Xbox. What are you talking about? But anyway, yeah. So it's interesting because if you ask me why I like Xbox, there's a lot of reasons. I think the console is great. It's sleek. It's something that's easy to use. The fact that basically I just unplugged my One X and plugged in my Series X, and it's basically just a better machine, but had like the same kind of stuff. And it used to be a negative for me, oh well, why didn't they do a new UI, or why they didn't do this? But the stuff for me that made it that much more appealing was like the fact that I can go back and play something from 2009 like Gears of War 2, and my save file is there. Right? You don't have to be a gold subscriber. You don't have to be a Game Pass subscriber. Your save files are right there, man. They were ahead of the game with that cloud stuff, right? On the PlayStation side, I've had terrible luck with that. A good amount of games that I've had save files on my PS4 Pro. That PS4 Pro broke, and so my save files disappeared. If you don't have PlayStation Plus at a particular point, you don't have saves, buddy. So, yeah. Disappointing there. And the smart delivery stuff is also easy, where it automatically updates for you the smart delivery and that kind of stuff. But it is these different types of situations where we see the hardware offer significant differences. And I think that Microsoft needs to do a better job of having developers take better care of their hardware. Yeah, say it with me, they do. Whether that means paying for timed exclusives or taking a little bit more interest in that, I don't know, but they should do something, because on the Sony side, they literally take full advantage of the PlayStation 5 on most things, even timed exclusives. Stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, that's going to take advantage of what's happening there. And, I just think that Microsoft could take a page out of Sony's book, which took a page out of the Xbox 360 book, right? And take advantage of what you have. The Xbox Series X is a fantastic platform, a great console. My favorite console, in fact, of all time. But they do a really bad job of taking advantage of what they have. It's like you got to take advantage of what you have. Use it. It's not the size, it's the motion in the ocean or whatever. But if you're not taking advantage of what you have, that's a bad look. So this bit of information is exactly why Sony is so cutthroat when it comes to this stuff. And Microsoft, they've got a lot to learn, and I hope they do learn. So with that being said, I want to get into this topic. It's going to be a hell of a video. Thank you guys for sticking by and watching it. Let's get started. Theme that Sony is going to be able to sort of take advantage of the PlayStation 5. They're doing it with games that are even going to be timed exclusives, or who knows if they're even going to be full exclusives at this point. I don't think anybody really knows. According to this, Final Fantasy 16 will have richer graphics and super fast loading times thanks to the PS5 hardware. It's only thanks to the power of PlayStation 5 system that we can make Final Fantasy 16 the roller coaster ride that it is, according to the producer. So it's been a busy few weeks for the Final Fantasy series. Major new announcements were recently made, with Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, with its sequel also being in the works. While shortly before that, we finally got a long-awaited look at the new upcoming Final Fantasy XVI as well. Where the latter of the group is concerned, there's been a great deal more information of late, thanks to a new round of interviews with its developers, from its battles, combat, and customization to the structure of the world itself. as well as AI-controlled party members and much, much more. As part of that round of interviews, the producer, Mr. Yoshida, also briefly discussed the PlayStation 5's hardware and how it is benefiting the development of Final Fantasy XVI, which is releasing exclusively for the console. Speaking with the official PlayStation blog, Yoshida remarked that the PlayStation 5's more powerful hardware will enable not only improved visuals, but also faster load times that will allow for seamless transitions from gameplay to cutscenes and vice versa. And this is what he said. With the boost in processing power, we can obviously make the graphics even richer than we could before, but it's super fast loading times that really impressed me. In Final Fantasy XVI, you jump straight from the story cutscenes into real-time battles and back again without any loading times, making the gameplay flow at a breakneck pace. It's only thanks to the power of the PlayStation 5 system that we can make Final Fantasy XVI the roller coaster ride that it is. Now, Yoshida did not touch on whether we can expect the game to utilize the PS5's capabilities in other ways, such as the DualSense features, 3D audio, or more, but with several months still until the game launches, it's likely we'll be learning more about that soon enough. If you didn't know, Final Fantasy XVI launches for PS5 in the summer of 2023, and another trailer for the game is scheduled to drop this fall, which I will link this article and you guys can check that out. So this is very cool, very interesting. This is where having these third-party deals really kind of pays off, because they're going to be able to make, you know, the most of the situation with the platform itself, and I think that's going to be great. Obviously, you know, them being able to take full advantage of the hardware is thanks to them having some kind of exclusivity deal with Sony. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, that seems like it's the big kind of to-do here. And obviously, you know, Microsoft, maybe they get this game at some point. I can't imagine Final Fantasy games have sold very well on Xbox, you know, unfortunately. But I also think that, again, and I've stated this multiple times, part of that could be the fact that they're putting them on in odd numbers and in odd kind of ways that really makes it unfortunate, because most gamers probably aren't going to really have played them in order or anything. And I get that it's hard to play them in order because the older ones are like on NES and things like that. But, you know, I think, you know, some of the ones that have been out there, and I realize some of them have been on Xbox, but obviously not all of them. And especially, I mean, like, look, Final Fantasy VII looks like it's skipping Xbox completely, or at least until maybe it's a full complete game. And then you have these other instances where a lot of the time some of these things don't even make sense, like this game. Why wouldn't this one, if Final Fantasy 15 was on Xbox, and it was on Xbox One, by the way, and I played it. I didn't beat it, but I played it, and I thought it was a good game from what I played, but maybe a little bit open world for me. You know, I don't know, just I don't know if it was really technically my thing, but, you know, it was a fun game for what it was. I just feel like, you know, overall at the end of the day, you know, I don't think it was really much of a game for me. But, you know, listen, I still think, like, it's the same thing with, like, Kingdom Hearts. They put Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox, but they didn't put the first two remastered on there. So, you know, it's very hard to follow those stories and things like that. So, you know, hopefully they learn from the mistake. I would love for this game to come to Xbox. I think people on Xbox deserve games like this. It's just weird to me that we continue to see kind of spotty and haphazard releases on Xbox when it comes to a lot of these Japanese games. I'm not sure what the deal is, but anyway, with that being said, how do you guys feel about this? They're taking full advantage of the PS5. That's a great thing. You know, Sony's paying for it, but hey, that's a great thing. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys do enjoy my videos, please leave a like on the video. It helps it to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.